Dallas's home for podcasts, live streams, and unfiltered conversations. This is Dallas On Air.
Some stories are told with words, others with a different language. The groove. Feel the rhythm, embrace the moment. On Dallas On Air.
The Groove, a podcast that's a transformational show about dance and a people's journey to success. That's just a vibe. Welcome to the couch.
The Groove, sponsored by the flyest station in the nation, flyradio.com. Your station for music lovers. Listen live 24 hours on flyradio.com. Download our app from the Google Play Store for talent or advertising opportunities. Please call 773-FLY-DIVA, otherwise known as 773-359-3482. Welcome to the Groove. Welcome to the couch. My name is Adrian Carson, and I'll be your chauffeur for this evening. We're going to bring on a person that's near and dear to me, and he has his theme music. So I'm going to introduce him. Stevie Ray, are you there?
I am here. Are you there? I am here.
I am here. Let's do this theme music of yours.
Can you hear it?
Yes.
That is my theme music for that. Right?
Can't hear it anymore.
Oh, I figured it out.
Oh, I want to hear it. Let's go.
Man of the hour, they're talking about me. I'm Stevie Ray. What's going on?
I am super, super excited to have you on. Welcome to the Groove. Welcome to the couch. We're going to pivot a little bit. Typically, we start talking about dance and people's journey through dance. But today, we're going to reverse that because dancers have no life and no purpose without the music, and you are an aficionado of music. So we're going to start talking about the music today. So when did you know that you had an ear for music? How old were you?
It's a real good question. I know so back as 5, 6, 7 years old. Mom and Dad would play music on the hi-fi, of course, and I got in trouble a lot by going over there and jiggling playing with the records and wanting to hear it, the music, and that always moved me. It moved me. I mean, it's always been a part of my life.
Similar. I remember the high five. I used to always try. My thing was I wanted to put the dial in the middle of the 45. I wanted to snap it in without breaking the record.
Right.
So right. I could appreciate that. So when you started that, I've shared before that I always knew I would be a dancer. I mean, from the time I came out, and music was always, I woke up to music. So I knew I would be a dancer. And you started listening to music or realizing that would part of be your life. When you realized that, what form did you start putting that effort into?
Wait.
Was it DJing? Was it
mixtapes?
After
After this music began to evolve in my life, and the pleasure of music So, of course, anytime we took car rides and I'd hear that DJ at a radio station. I was born and raised in Tennessee, and there was a station in Nashville. There was a DJ named Spider-Man Harrison, and
Okay.
it just so happened because WLAC had way. I'm talking about back in the early '70s, probably years before that, but had a signal somewhere out in a distance where it was heard, all around the country for the most part. Spider-Man Harrison, and I would hear him and I would mimic him, and I'd hear that Freddie's Dead or these
Uh-huh.
songs, and he'd come on the radio, WLAC, Spider-Man Harrison, and I got this and this, and I would just start to mimic him, and
Okay.
that's what drew me into the music. I wanted to sound like this guy. I wanted to be like him, and then I began to hear others. Of course, there was a guy that did the overnight shift, D. Harvey, and hey, it's D. Harvey. It's just so that, and all that kind of stuff. So that's what began to draw me into the music, not so much as the dance. And I loved dancing, but it was that wanting to mimic these guys.
That's awesome. I share with the audience in the past that I tried to be a DJ, short-lived,
Mm,
but I know music. And so I would have my double cassette player
yeah,
sitting right next to my
right,
regular cassette player and call myself trying to transition blending.
right.
Then I didn't realize it was mixing, but I was trying to blend music and beats per minute, not realizing I just knew what sounded good that made me want to move. So
Right.
I know that when you started on a whole different level. And before you answer that, I kind of want I want to share with people the focus of our relationship and business together.
Right. Okay.
So what you all need to know is, you know about me and Groove Theory Dallas, and I've always been the voice of Groove Theory Dallas. Well, when you know better, you do better. And so I knew of Stevie Ray. We've met briefly in the past, but when you see commercials on my site and my page, and you hear this velvety voice, it's Stevie Ray. And I don't mind him representing my brand because of who he is as a person, who he is as far as a man that I respect and I love working with, and then his musical IQ. There's only a few DJs, and I know a lot of DJs, as everyone knows, but there's a few DJs that I trust wholeheartedly without much direction at all. And he's one of them. So when you hear or see the commercials, and you'll see some of those a little later on in the show, it's Stevie Ray. And I chose Stevie Ray because he has multiple talents and he's multifaceted, which is what I want to share with my guests of who these people are that are successful behind the scenes. So with all of that, we were talking the other day, and you and I have friends in common.
Mm-hmm.
Skip Murphy and Skip Cheatham and all of those guys from K104 back in the day when I initially moved to Dallas from New York. And unbeknownst to me, you were the voice that I listened to on Quiet Storm, because I was the Quiet Storm, and I still am a Quiet Storm person. But you were the person. So tell me how, and we're going to fast forward and go back a little bit, but tell us, share with us, if you will, about how you got to that part of your career.
Well, that was a lot of very, very, very small stations, a long length of time to get to a place like K104. Period. This is broken down. The radio world is broken down. Was at one time was broken down in segments. Of course, you had major markets, you had medium markets, and you had small markets. Of course, you had some mom and pop radio stations in the smaller markets. Today, of course, they don't even exist because the big conglomerates have pushed them out of the way. But it was my dream to be able to work on a station like K104, V103 in Atlanta, um, um, Magic 102 in Houston. And, so because these are major markets, WGCI in Chicago, Los Angeles, of course, New York. And so Dallas was right up there with the top 10 in major markets. And so, but it was a lot of small stations, of course, a lot of other work that I did prior to getting there. Actually, I even worked in Atlanta at a Smooth Jazz 104.1 in Atlanta. I worked there for a length of time, period of time. There was another station that came on board while I was in Atlanta at that time, too, where Ludacris worked. Back then, he was known as Chris Lover Lover.
Right,
So
I remember that.
Right. So we're talking about I walk out of one control room and there he stands in the other one. And he was just Chris Lover Lover. He wasn't Ludacris, right?
Right.
And, worked in Memphis. Was a program director that got program director of the year several times, Bobby OJ. I worked with him at K97, and I did the after hour Quiet Storm there as well. So there were quite a few jobs before I got to K104 and began to meet Skip Murphy, a morning man, Skip Cheatham, afternoon, Sam Putney, Nanette Lee, The Wig, and all those people there in Dallas. And some strange things kind of happened. And if there were decisions you made, of course we all made them, that if we could change them, we would. Of course, leaving there and not really getting the promotion and not getting what I went there for, but leaving before it happened, I regret, of course. So we move on, we move on.
So how long did you do that? How long were you there at 104?
I was at 104 doing overnights, maybe about 2 years, 2.5 years. I was so drawn into the clubs. I think I remember Club Stars and Uche.
Let's talk about the before you made it big, the circuit that you were on to get you there.
Right. Well, again, we're back to quite a few of the clubs. I did a lot. A friend of mine called me. I went to L.A. to stay with my sister after I graduated from high school, and they lived in, of course, Compton, and they had a place there called the Workshop, and I started spinning music there, of course. Before I left high school, I was already spinning music in the 10th grade. We're talking technical 1200s, that mixing, all of that stuff. This was in the 10th grade. But after I graduated from high school, I ended up going to LA and staying with my sister and my brother-in-law and working at some club there. And over a period of time, I went back to my hometown and I began to do all the club circuits there in that town. Of course, you weren't going to have it without me, right? I was that guy. It was a certain kind of energy. It's something about the room. And this comes from the disco era. When those people would go into Studio 54 back in the day, they just go in and lose their mind. They get absorbed in the music. I mean, totally absorbed, right? And so that was the kind of energy that I always wanted to have. So leaving that, some friends called me. They had set up a club in San Antonio called JR's Place out near the airport. I flew to San Antonio, and they said, "Hey, Stevie, we got a condo out here. We got da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Man, we have a club, and we need you to come and set this thing on fire." And so in the middle of the night, I jumped up and shot to San Antonio and said, "Tell family members, nobody." I just left. It was like I'd seen the lights in Hollywood when I was in L.A., so I'm thinking I almost see the lights when I get to San Antonio as well. So I ended up going there and becoming their DJ. And eventually they moved the owner of that place had a place in Houston, and they shot us down to Houston. And when I came to Houston, there was a place called the Bijou on the north side of Houston. And during that time, the Rhinestone Wrangler, Captain Jack, and Larry D, and all these big name guys. Now here's this this guy, right? I'm talking about that just showed up, and to me, these guys were like giants. They weren't like the guys like the Tom Joyners and Frankie Crocker of WBLS New York in radio to me, but they were big. And what I understood is if I had to stand in their presence and they were DJing, even spinning music back then, it was we don't cut heads in here, so you had to bring your best, right? Literally, almost jump out the booth, that kind of energy. And so I began to work around those guys, and they opened a club called Cartoons. It was 3 levels. And I was one of the head DJs at Cartoons as well. So there was quite a few clubs and on. And then somebody contacted me from Dallas. And I ended up coming to Dallas. And then I began to submit resumes and air checks to K104. Got on there. I started working with them. There was a club in Wynwood Shopping Center. I began to spin over there, and then there was Studio 67. Bob Richard. I began to play over there.
Did you ever play at Fat Sally's?
Bernard's had before Fat Sally's. He was just Bernard's too.
Right.
Bernard. Yeah, I played at Bernard's. I played there, and great guy. So yeah, and during that time. I went to, I heard about this guy, Uche. I heard him on the radio all the time. So I went to Club Stars to meet him. And he was he was really down to earth, right? This is a guy, he was like, yeah, come on in.
High energy.
Right. Oh, that was it, right? And we talked, and he would let me come by the club, and he'd let me spin a little bit and take a break, and he's supposed to be gone, 10 minutes, and he'd be gone. Okay, you know the deal. Hour and a half, 35, 40 minutes. I'd take your time. And so I really, over a period of time, I ended up working up at Uptown, up on Greenville. Mm-hmm. Lady Sarah Mack owned that at the time. Yeah. Or Bush, one of the two. And then I worked at Dallas Dreams up on Greenville. Right. Gigi's was opening up a place.
Yes, it was.
I ended up doing some things with Gigi's as well. So just worked in Dallas quite a bit. And I was flying back and forth from Houston at the time. So they talked about Tom Joyner being the fly jock. I guess, I just didn't stay in one place long enough for my name to really gain any traction. I don't know. I did Dallas Dreams for a long time though. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, that's.
We have a lot of parallels. So, and it's odd that I have parallels with all of my guests, but you said somebody that I used to do the same thing that you did for DJing, for dancing and modeling. If there was a place to go, Adrian, hey, I need you here tomorrow. Not a problem. I'm there. Here's a plane ticket. Somebody be there to pick you up. But you said somebody that's important to both of us, Captain Jack. Yeah. Captain Jack was a hot DJ. And he was the Ludacris before there was a Ludacris.
Sure.
And I was the first group of his dancers for his tours. So I was his lead dancer for every time he did a concert. If I was available, I was part of that group dancing for him at his concerts and the shows, because there were more shows than there were concerts, but we had a lot of fun. So we have parallels there. We have parallels about Uche. When I moved to Dallas, I just finished Fashion Week, and we came to Dallas, and I was hanging out at the club with all of the people that thought they were somebody in VIP, and I was one of them. And then Uche stopped the music, and he goes, who are all of you people, and what are you doing in my house? And we're like, man, we're dancers. And he goes, well, then let's go. And so that was my introduction to Uche, and he was like high energy. All the time. And that's what I love about you. I love about that when you walk into the room, you assess the room, and all you do is bring the energy. All you do is bring the energy. I
And
know if it,
and thank you for saying that's my desire always. I don't care if it's 10 people. Um, you know, there are conversations that are not touched. When you talked some time ago or a little while ago about wanting to be a DJ, and so if a person asked me what, or if I were to ask a person to describe that, I mean, what is a DJ? What is a DJ? So you mean to tell me the guy down the street who's whatever age, whatever, can go get a laptop and two speakers and put a song on and take it off? He's a DJ, right? So that's what describes to me is it's more to me than being a DJ. Um, um, it's about the entertaining of it. You're still an actor. You're the head cheerleader. You're the quarterback. If well, someone would say, well, you motivate me through your music. Yeah, that's right. You're playing the hits. But there's another part of the energy with the personality as well. Some kind of personality. I'm not saying he has to talk all night, but there's more to it than just putting a song on and going from one song to the other song. Or maybe not.
well, no, there
If that's
is.
the case, everybody can be a DJ tomorrow.
No,
So it depends
no.
on what a person describes as a DJ. Go ahead.
Time out. Personal foul. My
Okay.
football's coming in. For me, and I'm saying this because I don't use that word, but there's people that play music,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's DJs, and then there's another echelon of DJing that that embodies to me the same scope of entertaining. Just like there are dancers. There are a lot of people that dance, but they are technical dancers. They're not necessarily trained like I am, and that's okay, but they do a form of dance that they're comfortable with. And then someone like myself that has been trained and cultivated to dance at the highest level, there's levels to DJing just like there's levels to dancing. And so although, to your point, somebody that plays music can play top 40 and have a good night, that doesn't mean that everybody left with a, oh my goodness, it wasn't a lot of people here and it didn't even matter to me. Because the time we had with the person that was entertaining us, not just simply playing music, but embodying every component of the event. And you do that. You know, one of my great friends, Stephen B, asked me, hey, when you have DJs that don't dance, how do they get the party going? If I said, you know what, they got to figure it out. They have to figure out how to get the first 3 to 4 people on the floor. And he goes, well, what would you prefer? I prefer somebody that is multifaceted that can do multiple things. For example, you play the music, you dance, you do whatever you can to entertain, to keep the crowd engaged. And that to me is another echelon of DJ-ship, if that's a word.
You know what's funny? I don't two-step, I don't swing out, and I don't Chicago step, hand dance, none of it. It's really funny, but I do dance. That's I do my I do my thing, right? It was for a while, and when Chicago was stepping, wasn't doing any of the dance community for a long time. My thing was that there was not really any money in it. I went and bought a lot of, invested in quite a bit of equipment.
Right.
I do light, do video monitors or LED wall. Now I have that as well, and other things. So I kind of snuck, by accident, I kind of came into playing for some two-step in Houston. But after I had been in for a little while, playing here and there. The Chicago wave started coming through, and there was a lot of tuggling in the community about it. So this one would come say, "Hey man, you want to learn the two-step?" Or this one would come over here and say, "Hey, do you want to learn to swing out?" And while I'm doing their party, they're swinging out and you, but you know, this is how we feel about Chicago stepping. And then I go over to the stepping, and I said, you know what? I don't have to learn any of it because they see me doing it. It's always going to be a problem at that time.
Right.
Now it's been hashed out. Time has passed. Everybody's doing all different types of dance styles. I love it when I met you, and come to realize, Adrian, dance, and you love it all. You love it, right?
Yeah.
But that was one of the reasons. So then instead of me stepping or two-stepping or swinging out or whatever, I just do me, and so I get hyped with the music.
What I love and what's profound about that is your music IQ is at such a level that you don't have to impart on doing the dances. You read the room and determine the mood based on what your years of experience in engaging people, because people don't understand that. When I used to always go to K104 and hang out with Shay and DJ Smooth with the VE, all of those are my guys, and I would just be in there, and the same energy that they had when they were out at the nightclub, they had the exact same energy when they were in the studio in a green room. And you can't teach DNA. You can't teach it. You can mimic it, but you can't teach it. And so what I loved about that is they were consistent throughout. I can meet both of them on the street, and it's like yesterday that we were leaving the club and I was cooking breakfast and they were all eating at my house or my apartment at the time because I didn't have a house. I had 30 people in my apartment I was cooking breakfast for. So I think the level of musical IQ matters for me. It matters that I don't have to be in the building to know that everything is good. And I think what people fail to realize is, there's DJs or people who play music, however we want to quantify or qualify them, but they want to play what they want to play, and they don't play what people want to hear. Like you shared, if there's only 5 people in the room, how are we going to keep those 5 people up and engaged all night long? And you figure out a way to do that. But let's pause there because DJing is only a small, minute part of your skill set.
Right.
Let's talk about, you know what? One of my friends, DJ Fly Diva, sent me a reel about what a real DJ does, and you and a few others, Bobbier and them, came to mind, and that is DJing doesn't start when you show up. It starts when you're packing the truck, when you're trying to meander in and out of places, when you're setting up. All of those things behind the scenes that has to be finite and put down to such a process that you don't waste time. So let's talk about the behind the scenes. Let's talk about how you got into the production, and let's also talk about that velvety voice of yours. Are you just lending that to the videos you create, or are you lending that in other areas of your production production offerings, if you will?
Well, thank you for everything you've said, even the trusting me and allowing me to be a part of Dance Theory. I really appreciate that. Of course, I'm in Houston and I come to Dallas to do that. And I appreciate that. I actually, again, voiceovers, I'm sitting in my studio. I get up most days and I'll check my roster and see how many commercials I have for that day or for that week. And I do these commercials, of course, for the dance community, as well as a lot of others. I'm also doing. I am the voice of the Omni channel, which is in Chicago. It's a brick and mortar station, of course. It streams in 114 countries, and I think they do 4 million plus streams a month. I do work for them. I've done advertisements for the mayor, who's now passed away here in Houston. I've done some advertisements for him. I'm getting ready to do a gentleman that's running for city councilman. So there's a lot that I do with the voice piece, and even evolving or learning more about the video aspect, how to. People would call me up and say, and they would go, "Hey, Stevie, I need a video." I said, "Okay, what do you want?" "I don't know." I said, "Okay, what do you have?" "I have 5 pictures and a flyer." Every video, I've done 700, 800. Listen, every video you've seen, for the let's say, with the exception of 8 or 10 out of 700 or 800 videos, 8 or 10, people have sent me a flyer and the pictures that's on the flyer. Any background, any transition, anything that has to do with it. We just started up I started up on the spot and put it into action. So we literally created it from those 5 or 6 pictures. Everything that's in the video. I don't care. And I've done them for the Chicago Steppers in Chicago. Literally, there are so many different groups there. I've done several. I want to say hundreds of videos for those people. Milwaukee, L.A., Sacramento, all over the country.
Dallas.
Atlanta, Dallas, several. The Texas boys and different ones, right. and other people, the Gents, and Atlanta, you name it. I probably did a video. Over there in Vegas, I do videos for him as well. So all over the country, literally. Philly, there's a young lady up there in Philly. I do video. Well, 2 or 3 people in Philly I do videos for. So yeah, I do quite a few things with this.
Well, that's a good segue. It's a good segue. Mm-hmm. What we're going to do is we're going to play some of the videos that you have created for me. So people can see, and if they're not familiar with your work, they can be familiar with your work, and then we can, if you have time on the roster, see if you're willing to take some more work if people have their stuff together when they approach you. So we're going to put on a few videos that you've done for Groove Theory Dallas, Second Fridays, as well as my birthday. So if you haven't seen them on my page, check it out and enjoy.
Oh no, it's going down in Dallas. Groove Theory Dallas proudly presents something for all of us. The Juneteenth celebration. Friday, June 13th from 9 to 1 a.m. Pack it. 2155 Studios, Marsh Lane. Adrian Carson, your host. It's on, Dallas. Get ready. Going down Second Friday with Fly Diva on the Step Inside from Chicago. And Big DJ Bubble Yay putting it down on the Sweet House side. We got plenty for you. $20 pre-sale, $25 after 10:30. Dallas, Texas. Home is going down with a light buffet, and it's BYOB. Bring your best friend. It's happening 2 parties under one roof. Groove Theory, Groove Theory, Groove Theory Dallas. Dallas, Texas. Get ready. We get ready to drop a bomb. Groove Theory Dallas brings you Adrian Carson's birthday celebration. It's going down an all-white affair. We're talking about crunk all night. It's time to do it all white. The all-white affair. Get up to get down. You gotta move something. Friday, July 11th. Second Friday. on the step inside. Brian Smoking B, you'll put it down. Hey, watch out. Stevie Ray's on the other side for the swing out, and it's going to be crunk all evening long. I'm bringing all of that. Come on. The chairs don't need no help. We've got two parties under one roof. 2155 Marsh Lane. It's going down for the weekend. Get ready.
That is just a small sample of the amazing work that Stevie Ray does. So when you're doing that, your creative juices are obviously flowing because you have so many different projects. How do you balance that?
Well, with God's help, of course. It at one time it was really hard, and I'm grateful because at one time I might have. You said something earlier. Even when it comes, to preparing for a gig, the thought that goes into it, and you're absolutely right because I'm doing something for you in a few days, but I've been thinking about it all week. I've already began to move things in and out, and what I'm going to bring, and how I want to set this up, and my playlist. I literally work on the playlist before I come. To have those songs ready, I don't have to look for them. They're in a folder right here. And then if I need other things, I can go other places and get them. So it's like a show prep. When I did radio, you had to prep before you went on the air.
Right.
So if I wanted to talk about Michael, this song just went off about Michael Jackson, da 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 da, and Lady in My Life. I would segue into, speaking of the lady in my life, my mom was da 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 da, whatever. So, but so it's prepping, and the same way with the videos. I think about a video, even though that video might take anywhere from 3 to 4 hours to create, but I'm thinking about it, hours before I even go in the studio. So it takes time, and imagine if I had that video takes 4 or 5 hours to produce, and I got 7 of them sitting here, and they're waiting. Everybody wants them now.
No.
Not yesterday. I need it now, right? And it's amazing. And so it takes a lot. One thing else I wanted to say. Somebody could possibly look at one of those and say, "Oh, that's not a lot." Well, the same commercial you see on television I can create that same thing, but no one, it costs a lot for me to come and have that shot
Right.
in 4K or 8K. Let's say we're gonna come and shoot it, and I have a friend that comes and he shoots an 8K, shoots your whole evening. Take the footage that we have from that and slice it up and do edits and then create graphics for it, the whole 9 yards, and then put a professional voice behind it. So those commercials that you see, a lot of them you see on TV, national spots, those to get the video created, the price tag on that is astronomical.
I can imagine being part of the production from a modeling and a dancing perspective.
Sure.
All of the things that go behind the scenes, all the takes we have to do, all the do-overs we have to do. If lighting is not right, what we have to do, how we have to move and position ourselves. So I can just imagine that's frustrating for us as dancers and models to do that, but we understand that because that's what comes with the job. You got to get the perfect shot or at the perfect angle, and you're taking all of that footage and dicing it and slicing it and revisiting it and moving it around.
A lot.
So I think the culmination of all of that is the work. The finished work is always magnificent, but the work starts in prep for putting that together and all of the things that it takes and all the material and content that you need in order to do that.
And most of the time, that's the deal. Again, I want the video. I want the video that I just saw. I want the people dancing on top of the buildings and the whole. Okay, do you have any footage? Don't have any footage. Okay, so I got 5 pictures. I'm going to send them over to you, Stevie. All right, I'll do what I can. So, and that's usually how that has happened. And that's to keep, keep the budget low, keep it where it's affordable. There's another one more other little thing, and I wouldn't fail to mention this. Everything about my life is spiritual. It's spiritual, right?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't say religious.
Right.
Meaning, I'm talking about using some principles.
Right.
Respect, decent, honesty. Things of this nature, integrity.
Yeah.
Which are common. We're supposed to wear it anyway. Then there's a law of reciprocity. So someone called me one evening, and she was upset because I wasn't able to do her gig, and she just kind of went there, and and I mentioned to her, and she said, well, it's good anyway that we that you're not coming because I only got you because of the price mark, that you're cheap, in other words.
Ooh.
I mean, who else is going to show up and fly 2 TV screens on each side of them, lighting on the dance floor, uplighting around the wall, and da-da-da-da-da for this price, right? And then be energized and do it professionally. Some things I do because of the law of reciprocity. I looked up and I literally was working Thursday through Sunday, months at a time, week on end. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, I was in the studio. Wednesday, I was in the studio, and I'm back out there again. And so I get to work. And now I'm getting work where, again, I'm traveling, going out of town, doing a whole lot of other things. I'm going to always try to give the people more than they expect.
You
more
do
than
that.
Their pocketbook can handle.
You do that in spades and diamonds. So let me share with people that don't know. There's always people in the dance community and other communities that have a narrow opinion of what it takes to put a production together. And so, for example, the services that you offer and provide, and I'm not talking about the DJing, that's a component of it, but the visual aids, the showmanship, the lights, everything that you can need to put on an instantaneous show, you and others have. But what they don't realize is that corporate America pays you thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars for all of what you bring to the table to represent their brand. And unfortunately, from a naivety perspective, people in smaller communities don't understand that because their business savvy is not anything outside of what they typically do. So we make our things affordable.
Right.
You work with us to make it affordable, but I, being in corporate America, know what that costs because I pay for it on an often basis. So I want to make sure that, people always feel that they can do what we do, but they can't. Otherwise, they would be doing it. So I just wanted to make sure that we qualified that when the price is the price.
Thank you.
And one thing I don't do is I don't barter the price. If either I can afford it, I'm going to make a way to afford it, or I can't until I can.
Right.
So I think that's important to know. But I kind of want to switch because we're almost running out of time.
Okay.
We have, the first time in 6 years, a Groove Theory Dallas production performance/graduation. And it's sold out. Over 350 people will be in attendance this Saturday. I'm super, super excited. Everywhere you see this flyer, you see a big red sold out on it because it is. You cannot come to the door and think you're going to get in. We've been sold out for over a month now. And so Stevie Ray is going to be our musical engineer of the night and our musical host. And so I am super, super excited to have you, especially since this is the first time we have one in 6 years. And people are flying from all over the country to come. And the performers are ready. They are excited. What are your thoughts? Because this is the first time, I know you've done larger venues and things of this nature, but this is probably the first production from a dance perspective in a small niche community that you've done. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm excited. I'm past excited. Number one, the fact that you're doing it, and I know what. Not the host of the Groove, Adrian Carson, but the Adrian Carson that I've met. In some ways, not. I don't mean this as a put down. Is somewhat of a perfectionist, not a perfectionist, but you thrive in excellence.
Absolutely. And I'm not offended. You're speaking facts. The truth is the truth.
Sure. And knowing what I don't know what to expect, but I know that when I get there, it's going to be the room. It's going to be all that. People are going to be dressed. People are going to be excited. And so, with that being said, click on you, Shay. Boom. Let's turn on the energy then.
Right.
I'm going to bring a lot. That's what we're going to come because it's going to be a show. We want it to be hyped, elegant at the same time, and I believe that a function could be elegant, beautiful, and whole night, yet hyped.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We want it off the chain. So
and it will be. It will be for sure. I'm super excited because you've come to you are a regular now at my two parties under one roof for a reason. But this is a venture that you haven't seen me in yet.
Right.
And so I'm super excited to have you a part of it. There's been a lot of people behind the scenes doing things for us, and we are super, super excited. And every day everybody's counting down to when we get it, and every day I'm getting a phone call of, is there any way I can come? And it's funny because we sell out every one. Every graduation performance we do, we sell out. But people are under the auspice that it is a dance, and it's not. It's not a event for dancers per se. There is going to be a whole bunch of dancing, just whatever people perceive dance to be. And there's going to be a whole lot of performances to get people accustomed to the type of world that I always live in, with the various dance styles that we'll be showcasing, as well as the graduates of Insatiable Elegance. So I'm super, super excited to have you. Super, super excited for Saturday to come. And it's going to be a time you don't have to worry about footage, because we have one of the best photographers in the country, of Kevin Franklin, KMG. He will be shooting, and we have a young talent that will be videographing. So Jarvis, excited about him joining us for the first time in 6 years. So it's going to be a fabulous event. How can people get a hold of you, Stevie Ray, if they want to discuss possible business opportunities with you?
Well, Stevie Ray Productions on Facebook. Stevie Ray Productions. You can always inbox me there, of course. And I'm also on Instagram as 007 Stevie Ray.
Say that again. On your IG account is what?
007 Stevie Ray.
I love it.
Come on. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I thought you would. So they could reach me that way, and a lot of it too. We still operate in word of mouth as well. They know you, and they know other people that know me. And I want to always say that I will work with anybody. I really will. And whatever I do, I'm going to do it in excellence. I'm going to give you the very best that I got. I'm not worried about what somebody else does and what someone else would charge and whatever. I want to always be a man of the people. I want to be these. These are my people, right? And you're my people, and I
Yeah.
really always I want to service people and take care of them the best I can.
Awesome. I want to thank a good friend of mine, Benny Hicks, president of the SDS Gents. A couple of years ago, you were DJing his outreach ball, which is every January, I believe.
Yes.
And typically I'm not in town for it, but I was able to be in town for it. And I saw, and I knew of you. We've met a long, long time ago, but I haven't heard you play in like forever. And I was just enthralled with all of the various people that were there. The dance floor stayed packed.
Mm.
And we weren't just social dancing. We were just dancing. If it was the bump, it was the two-step. Whatever we wanted to do was what we wanted to do because you provided that environment for us to thrive in. And when I saw it, I didn't have Second Fridays in mind, but I did have my graduation in mind. But Second Fridays was the impetus of us working together. And I'm super excited that you are part of the network of talent that I have the luxury of working with. And my people love you. They love you absolutely. There is nothing that they say other than he brings the energy. And
Right.
I want to share with people that I think very highly of you because you are consistent. And you always are exceeding to be the best version of yourself, which is everything that I'm about and that I embody. And everything about you in all interactions are always positive. It's always thoughtful and it's always business oriented. And in our business, you don't come across that a lot. You come across people rightfully so or unrightfully, subconsciously unaware that they think that they're the show.
Mm.
And they don't realize that without the talent, nobody comes to the show.
Right.
And so I'm smart enough to know that I'm a dancer. That's it. I'm a dancer. And so I want you to make my body move and groove. And I know that if I'm dancing, everybody's dancing.
Mm-hmm.
And so you bring that to the floor in aces and spades, and you do it in such a manner that I can't sing you high enough praises. And listen, you're the voice of me. And so you're doing all of my commercials and forever will until we get to a point where we can film a mini movie or something. And that's something that's coming to my mind because I have some projects that I'm going to be talking about with you off camera. But I just kind of wanted to take this time because you're an integral part of my success, and I want to make sure that I acknowledge that, and I want to make sure that I introduce the world to you that don't already know you or know you in some form, that you're not just a DJ. You do production, you do video, you do voiceovers, you do all of the things that entertainment requires for you to be successful at a high level. And so typically my show is about dance and the people behind it, but there is no dance without any music.
Mm. Well, let me say this to you before, and I know we have a dispute. Thank you for everything you've said. And again, thank you for the groove. Thank you for this platform. It's amazing that this platform can be seen all over the world.
Yeah.
Thank you for having this and giving a voice to the voiceless.
Yeah.
Some of us that would have never had an opportunity to speak to people in Philly or Jersey or from wherever they are.
Right.
China or Thailand, for that matter. So thank you for this show, and thank you for what you do, and you do it in excellence. So keep doing what you're doing. I appreciate it.
Now, I want to get your opinion. So a friend of mine that is coming, she was actually one of the first people that bought a ticket from me to the graduation. She's very creative, more creative than I think she gives herself credit for, and she created her impression of coming to the graduation. And I was quite impressed. And so I want to play it for you and get your thoughts on it.
All right.
ready. It's almost time.
Now, that's Melanie Antoinette that created it. And she was just playing around and she goes, hey, I'm thinking about doing this. Let me shoot it to you and tell you what you think. And I loved it.
I loved it. I love it too.
Yeah.
No, that was cool. That was really good.
I didn't ask her. She just did it because she's excited about coming. And I appreciate her for it. But I wanted to acknowledge her. I wanted to acknowledge you. I wanted to acknowledge Bubba Ye. None of these things that the platform that you and I have together at this moment happens without other people standing in the gap for us. So I don't ever want to be remiss and think that I'm here by myself. I have a crew of people, the Groove Crew, that supports me in everything that I do, dance related and outside of dance related. So my crew does it. My instructors do it. I have designers on my team that do it. I have everybody chipping in to help stand me up. And so it's important that I acknowledge them because I know you have that nucleus of network with you as well, of people supporting you and keeping you where you need to be from a perspective of being genuine and staying transparent and being intentional in all the right ways.
Definitely.
Well, we're getting ready to close. I am so glad that you joined us on the couch today. Long time coming. Looking forward to seeing you Saturday.
Right.
We are going to kill it and set Dallas on fire. So thank you, my friend. We will talk soon. And thanks
Adrian,
everybody.
Thank you for the groove. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate it. Okay, everybody. Next week we will have one of my dear friends, Ryan Lewis, and his team of people. Ryan is someone that is very special and dear to me. He's helped me along the way of coming into Dallas and finding a studio home. So he and his team will be in studio with me next week. He has some exciting things to come up, and he also has some people dancing at the graduation this Saturday. So until we see you next time, thank you for tuning in. Stay in peace, stay in rest, and God bless you, and God bless others that interact with you. See you soon.
Some stories are told with words, others with a different language. The groove. Feel the rhythm, embrace the moment. On Dallas On Air.